going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, we're exactly 2 months out from the Fantastic Four dropping in theaters and still a little ways from them running out brand new TV spots every day in the 2 or 3 weeks leading up to the film's release. However, reportedly tickets go on sale in just a week and a half on June 4th, and because Disney owns ESPN alongside Marvel, there's obviously some very free and easy marketing in a crossover with the NBA playoffs. And you've probably seen there's been a ton of commercials integrated with what are supposed to look like film clips, but they're not actually from the movie, where they're actually discussing what's going on with the NBA playoffs. However, this is all going to culminate in a brand new exclusive look at the film, which was supposed to release with Game 3. It's now been moved. We're going to fill you guys in on when to expect that, because it's coming up this week. We're breaking it all down, a new exclusive look at the Fantastic Four about to drop from Marvel Studios. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, thanks to everyone who's been subscribing lately and helped grow the community. If you haven't already, I would just kindly invite you to do so. It's the #1 thing you can do to support us as content creators here at the channel. Plus, it'll enter you for the PS5 giveaways if you want. Stick around at the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Now again, if you haven't noticed, there have been a ton of brand new quote-unquote clips from the Fantastic Four circulating. Some of them are actually commercials, again, just for the NBA playoffs that they shot to look like they were in the film, but they're not actual scenes in the movie. And then others are just montaging some quick clips of scenes we basically already seen with some new frames teasing the movie's release. However, there is a brand new exclusive look coming for the Fantastic Four that, as I mentioned during the prologue, was supposed to air with Game 3, which would have been this weekend. It's now reportedly going to drop with Game 4 tomorrow on Monday, May 26th during the game. So tomorrow night during the Wolves Thunder game, they're dropping a brand new clip. Now, usually these end up on YouTube, not always the exact same time, and they're not always exactly the same, but pretty much if you're not watching the NBA, if you're not into that kind of thing, it's just like when they do this for college football. They'll drop it probably at halftime or in the middle of the third quarter, and then it should be up on their YouTube pretty shortly after that, which of course means we'll be doing a breakdown here at the channel just as soon as this new clip drops. And in context, yes, like I've said, a lot of this stuff is made to look like it's in Fantastic Four, but it's not. I mean, you guys know what's going on. You've been watching Marvel promos for a long time with these brands. This is normally how it goes, but this exclusive first look, this will be a brand new clip. And usually it's just a minute or so of an extended scene. I would not expect it to be at the climax of the film, them fighting Silver Surfer or the Fantastic Four or anything like that. Mostly dialogue based, because come on, they're not giving away reveals this early. Now, one thing I wanted to quickly bring up in this video, because I don't really think there's going to be a place for it in too many of the other videos that we do, because it's sort of outside of the context of the universe and more to do with the back end and the economy and what's going on with Superman versus Fantastic Four. Superman tickets don't go on sale until June 12th. But it comes out 2 weeks before the Fantastic Four drops. And I'm wondering, with Fantastic Four tickets reportedly going on sale June 4th, if Marvel isn't just a little nervous to sort of kick off their ticket sales and get those tracking first, and before, obviously, Superman tickets go on sale. I would argue that while Superman and the Fantastic Four as brands really don't go head-to-head as rivals, the Venn diagram of the people who are going to see both of these films, the age range, the type of person, i.e. you guys watching this channel, they are the same. And so while I don't think there's going to be too much in competition being 2 weeks apart, for instance, if you go see one, you're not going to go see the other, I think they're safe in that respect. I still also think that Marvel Studios and Warner Brothers will not skip this opportunity to directly compare numbers with marquee franchises, even if the Fantastic Four and Superman, again, are just not really what you would call one-to-one as far as apples to apples or apples to oranges. They're still marquee names, marquee franchises in these comic book huge conglomerates. So either way, rightly or wrongly, when one is so deep into an established universe and the other's basically kicking it off, the fact that James Gunn used to be at Marvel, you guys get it. There's going to be a bit of a measuring contest here, if you know what I mean. Now, I think, again, in this context, it sort of tips a little bit about what Marvel's thinking, getting their tickets on sale and this early. But honestly, they need to be careful, because if there's one sentiment I've picked up here about movie marketing from you guys, is you feel the exact same way I do about those TV spots that start up about 2 or 3 weeks before the movie drops. Marvel sort of always gets a little bit desperate with wanting to tip their hand and make some major reveals. It was sort of bad enough with the Thunderbolts, with all of the pre-screeners that went out for the public before the movie actually dropped. Everybody knew the post-credit scene the next day and that the title changed into the new Avengers. But this has been happening for Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness. They did it for the Marvels when they couldn't help themselves and wanted to tease the X-Men. They really feel like they need to get that last-minute push at the box office, and I don't know if they understand this or not, but man, if you haven't bought your tickets, 5 days before a Marvel movie drops, whatever they stick into a brand new TV spot is not going to sell those people. And so I'm pretty curious to see, with all of these new clips coming out, with tickets going on sale in June, and then us still being 2 months out from the Fantastic Four, how and if Marvel's even going to look to combat the sort of marketing fatigue that may happen if they don't slow down between now and then. Again, we've got 2 full months, and with the 2 trailers we've seen, they've pretty much covered every act of the film. Unless they want to start giving away huge details, show us Galactus' face, etc., there's not much else that they can cut around. And so I'm going to be pretty curious, A, about the scene that they drop tomorrow. Watch it be a total sandbag where it's literally just Reed Richards and Sue Storm talking to each other about the peril of the universe or multiverse or something like that. I'm really hoping that Marvel does slow down. Do not start dropping these TV spots and all of these new scenes between now and July, because by the time we get there, we're basically going to know the whole film. And they've been pretty good about that with Deadpool and Wolverine, not spilling the bag. But man, going to Thunderbolts was literally just a reversion to what they did with the Marvels. They were so anxious for word of mouth to sort of push the box office with that film and hoping that it would do well, that they were totally fine revealing all of the details and right before we made it to the finish line. And I know some of this may sound a tad ironic coming from the YouTube channel that covers leaks and spoilers, but don't get it twisted, those are not the same. You guys seek this channel out for a deep level of analysis and conversation about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I do not reach the masses. People watching the NBA playoffs don't see theory videos on my channel, leaks and spoilers. They see whatever Marvel shows them. And the point I'm trying to make is that as Marvel gets desperate to try to sell tickets to those fans, and by revealing things, I don't think they're really moving any tickets at all. All they're doing is selling out the audience that, despite all of the leaks, still has some ambiguity going into the movie's plot. So here's hoping they don't do what they did with Thunderbolts and they don't run out all of these public test screeners for quote-unquote word of mouth, because if they do, then it'll be Thunderbolts all over again, where not only do we know the post-credit scene the night that those screeners start, but pretty much the ending, the title reveal of the new Avengers, and everything else about the movie within 24 hours. And in this case, it's not plausible deniability, grain of salt, industry insider, anonymous scooper stuff. This is just coming from people in the public who have seen the film. So here's hoping that Marvel knows better than to do that, and for a movie that might actually have a lot of multiverse stuff and some really cool Easter eggs, the way that maybe Guardians of the Galaxy did, instead of the way the Thunderbolts we knew sort of wasn't, keep all that stuff locked up. But you guys let me know all your thoughts down below. And again, if you're not watching the NBA playoffs, this is going to air at some point tomorrow night. Assume it'll be on YouTube, and of course check back at the channel. We'll have the Easter egg breakdown for whatever the scene or clip is as soon as we can. Quickly, we're still giving away PS5s. Just make sure to be a subscriber and leave a comment on the video, because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at I'mFires. You can also find me on all platforms with original music under the name Allfires. And while I would sincerely appreciate you checking my music out, thanks for checking this channel out. Stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.